Now, it's interesting with Johansson because last season he had the most saves in the Championship and he's currently on course to have the most saves in the Championship this season.
34 saves this season from Victor. Is he our best keeper since we've gone down? Are we a bit concerned that we've not seen as much of Koumas recently? In comparison to the other side of the pitch, which is Bay, there's quite a difference there for me.
Johansson has been playing brilliantly on the left-hand side, so I wouldn't want to take him out.
I still only think Johansson, I think he's only in fourth. I still think he's got another gear.
Yeah.
I think he's not quite firing at 100%. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Stoke Fan TV with myself, Max.
And me, Sam.
And Sam. And 0-0 against Swansea. A bit of a change to the 6-1 thumping of Pompey. But we're going to go through that all in this episode. But first, pause the video. No, seriously, pause the video. Please hit the like button. I'm sure you've already subscribed. But if you haven't done that, please click that button as well. Because the more likes we have and the more subscriptions we get, the more the channel can continue to grow. And we do hope you're enjoying the content. Leave a comment below if you're enjoying the show. Right, so Sam, 0-0 against Swansea.
Yep.
So not quite the 6-1 result against Pompey, but still a positive result.
I think it's a very positive result to go away to Swansea. We've had a bit of a shaky start to the season, to be honest, and to go and get a clean sheet away at Swansea is not a bad result at all.
Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree. Now, I said there was differences to Pompey. The obvious difference of the fact that we didn't score anything rather than 6 goals.
Yep.
I mean, we're getting a bit greedy, aren't we, if we think we're going to get 6 every week. So we've got the laptop in front of us, so we're going to be kind of diving into some of the main things about that game and kind of going through them, seeing what players kind of stood out and that kind of jazz. Now, first thing I think I want to point out is the level of opposition. With all due respect to Pompey, Swansea set up a lot better. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. Swansea are a much better team than Portsmouth. Much more organised, much better defending, slightly better attacking as well. Swansea were. I think Stoke defenders had more to do this game.
Well, what was interesting was, I know in the last video we said we weren't sure if we exactly set up as a 4-4-2. Well, I think it was more obvious to me watching that game that we were almost set up as a 4-4-2, especially defensively. But it was interesting to see that because in the game before I said Cannon and Gallagher were playing as number 9 and number 10. In this one, they seemed a lot closer together. We've got the lineup in front of us on the screen. There was one change, obviously, from the Portsmouth game, which was Bocat in at left back. But aside that, Chico left it pretty much the same. Our average positions in this particular game. There's our that's Swansea's. There's our average positions, and let's just go to the Portsmouth average positions. These are the average positions with that Pompey game. I know they're the opposite way around. But again, this cluster in the middle versus Portsmouth. Again, we've got this cluster in the middle versus Swansea. What were your thoughts on us attacking? Do you think we should have scored? Tom Cannon arguably could have scored.
Tom Cannon should have scored that chance that he had, that Moran put him through. That was a fantastic ball through by Moran, that was. Definitely should have scored. Needed to get more height on the shot. Even Bocat could have scored.
Yeah, he had a chance as well.
Towards the start of the game as well.
Well, the actual match itself, if we just go to the Opta site. Now, these are the shots on target from both teams. That looks fairly even from the outside looking in. If we then turn on shots off target, yeah, okay. Swansea have had a few more shots there.
Swansea have had more shots in the box. All of their shots have been in the box.
Yeah, all shots are in the box, whereas we've had a couple from outside the box. But arguably, we had the best chance in the game from Cannon. We can't knock him too much. He did score 4 in the previous game.
Yeah.
However, considering he scored 4 in the previous game, I was expecting him to put that in the back of the net.
100%.
So those are the shots on and off target, and from that perspective, I thought we did well.
Yes.
One of the things that I really like about Stoke in that game was the amount of effort from a lot of the players. This image here, for me, kind of epitomises the defensive nature of how we were playing, putting bodies in front of the ball for this one of their shots, and you've got a series of players there, obviously trying to get in front of the ball. It was blocked by Berger in the end, who I thought had a good game. But, you've got Moran in there, you've got Bajon Ho, defence and everyone lined up, trying to get bodies in front of the ball. The effort's looks like the effort's starting to
Yes,
to
starting
through.
to play as a team and a bit less individual performances. I will say that when Vidigal come on towards the end, he probably could have passed it a bit more than shot, but they are looking to be playing more of a team.
We are looking to be playing more as a team. A couple of things which I think we need to watch. I'm going to pull up a couple more stills for you. Now, with us playing in this kind of narrow, well, I mentioned there with the average positions are quite narrow. I think Swansea exploited that a little bit at times. If I go through to this particular image, this is one of their attacks, especially in that first half, and you can see here their fullbacks were getting quite high. I know we're defending. This is a good line, but you can see here there was a couple of occasions where they nearly hurt us.
Yes, but number 9 there, Bocat needs to be slightly more in front of him to get onto the run that he was going to make. And 35 is then open. I'm not a massive fan of it, to be honest.
Well, this swings and roundabouts.
Yeah,
if we're tight in the middle, we keep the ball well, the possession well, and we can nice little ticky-tacky football between each other.
It leaves us very open to these breaks, though, by the opposition on our wings. If our wingers are going to be pushing more forward, like here, number 35, you can see on the screen, Bocat's marking number 9, their striker. Number 35's coming out on the outside here, and no one's on him.
Well, thankfully, this attack came to nothing. But that is one of the areas. The other area, I just put praise to Moran.
Yeah.
Thought he had a good game again. What I find quite interesting about Moran in this particular game was when we played as almost like more of a 4-4-2, it's a loose 4-4-2. We played more as like 4-4-2. Quite interesting to see Moran getting more involved, higher up the pitch. Great ball through to Cannon.
Yeah.
We know Moran is really good at that. He can see those runs being made by the strikers, and he can play the through balls really well. One area that we need to look at and be careful of, okay, I'm going to pull up a screenshot now, is this kind of area where we need to watch players in between our midfield and in between our defence. And we do this. We noticed, particularly in that Watford game, it was a while ago now, but wow.
Yeah.
We've got almost 2 here. And if you're not careful, especially if you're centre mid and you're pushing further on, it can leave you open from behind. Oh no, I think Rose is sort of pointing who's got him there. And then inevitably what happens next is from that image to this one, and the ball ends up going through. You've got to watch it, haven't you? You've got to watch your cover shadow. You've got to be making sure you're screening, especially if you're playing in that kind of mid-block. Midfield, you've got to be shimmying along, screening the ball. Delay.
Yeah.
That's just something I'm nitpicking, but that's something that we've really got to watch, especially if they're playing with a number 10.
Well, it's still early days in Narcisse Palak's time at Stoke, so hopefully it's something that he can work on to improve in future games. But as I said, I don't think we need to nitpick too much at it. It's a 0-0 performance away at Swansea, which is a good result considering the results that we've endeavoured so far this season.
Yeah, and I'm going to move. Well, we are going to stick with the Swansea game now because there is somebody I want to mention in particular, and that is Johansson.
Yes, definite standout performer. Again.
Really good. Really good. Again. Victor Johansson has had a quality season so far, in my opinion. Some people might be saying, "Oh, we've lost games and conceded."
Yeah.
But we've brought in a steady keeper, and he's performing. 5 saves in the last game, arguably kept us in the match. I mean, straight away almost. There was a chance, wasn't it?
Yes.
Gave it away in the box. Ball came through, shot.
That was a great save.
Great save.
Fantastic save to get down to that bottom corner.
Yeah, all 5 shots on target, I think, saved by Victor.
Now, it's interesting with Johansson because last season he had the most saves in the Championship, and it was one of the things that Stoke fans mentioned when we signed him. And he's currently on course to have the most saves in the Championship this season.
Yeah, if we look at this stat here on SofaScore, you can see there he is at the top. 34 saves this season from Victor, 24 inside the box.
Not bad.
Oh man, the difference to have a goalkeeper who you just know is solid at the back, and his distribution's decent as well. Yeah. It's good because we're playing out from the back, you notice, and he's comfortable on the ball. And he's passionate as well.
One thing I like about him is he gets the fans going.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does.
Really does.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, is he our best keeper since we've gone down? I mean, we had Butland to start with when we got relegated, who was a great keeper, but is he our best goalkeeper since we've been relegated?
We had Mark Travers, remember, from Bournemouth, and he was a good goalkeeper. But yeah, I'd probably say that Victor Johansson is the best keeper that I think we've had since we've been relegated.
Stoke fans, let us know in the comments what you think to this, because he's proven his worth. There's going to be people that say, "Oh, he's made a lot of saves. We've faced a lot of shots." I know we have faced a lot of shots. I think we've faced something like 130 odd shots.
136 shots.
Something like that. Yeah. Yes. There's the caveat.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to make more saves.
But we aren't number one on the most shots conceded in the Championship this season.
I think we're something like 5th or 6th or something like that. But still, he can only do what he can do if he's getting shots rained in on him. He can
save a penno as well.
And he can save a pen. Yeah. So, you know, he's one of the standout performers for me this season. Keep it up, Victor, and don't forget to buy us all a beer at the end of the season when we're in the playoffs. Surely, we'll get promoted. Anyway, just to touch quickly again, going back to the Swansea game. Are we a bit concerned that we've not seen as much of Koumas recently?
Now, you pointed it out, and it's interesting looking at the stats. Koumas hasn't really been involved in the last few games.
I just want to show you some stats, and I don't want to nitpick on Koumas here because I know he's a quality player, but I think he struggles a bit on that right-hand side. It's just my opinion. If we look at his stats here, this is from the Swansea game, and these are all of the things he could be involved in. I haven't put goalkeeping up. I don't really think he's... No. But in comparison to the other side of the pitch, which is Bay, there's quite a difference there for me. Bay obviously heavily involved in a lot of the play. You also mentioned a lot of his passes. There's a few forward ones unsuccessful, and there is looks like
they're crosses, aren't they?
Yeah, they're crosses or trying to get the ball in the box. If we compare him to Manhoof, even, who came on as a substitute, and
all the passes bar one are forward.
Unsuccessful though from Manhoof. Again, he's crossing.
The intent is there.
The intent is there, and there's a few more dribbles and that kind of thing. Let's bring up Vidigal on the other side of the pitch and see how Vidigal compares to Koumas. Again, they're about similar, but how long was Vidigal? Vidigal wasn't on the pitch a huge amount of time.
20 minutes?
I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments. I can't remember. But I just would like to see the best of Koumas again, because I feel like when he was playing in that central position, he was more effective.
Yeah,
I don't know how we're going to squeeze him into the team, but what do you think?
We've got quite a decent little forward like structure going on at the club at the minute. Gallagher's just got injured in that last game against Swansea. We need to mention that, with a hamstring injury. I've not seen how long he's out for, but it's international break now.
Do we know if it's serious, do you think?
I don't know, but he was laughing with Palak after when he come on, so sorry. So I don't think it was too serious. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because he had a really good game the other day.
Yes, well, Gallagher, again, this was again that Pompey game. He played really well. We didn't quite see the link up in the Swansea game that we did in the Portsmouth game between the two, but it's early days, and they were playing, I think, slightly differently.
Slightly deeper.
A little bit deeper, a little bit more.
But you're away from home against a better team.
Yeah, a little bit more defensive. It's understandable. So there's some thoughts on me from I say Koumas. Can we work out a way to get the best of Koumas again? Next game we've got coming up is Norwich. Be interesting to see if he sticks with the same team again. If Manhoof comes back into the fold on that right hand side. There's the positive problems in a way. They're things that you want to have problems with, rather than we've got nobody to fill the gap.
Well, if Bejono wasn't playing well on the left, I'd say put Koumas on the left. But Bejono has been playing brilliantly on the left-hand side, so I wouldn't want to take him out.
I still only think I think he's only in fourth. I still think he's got another gear.
Yeah.
I think he's not quite firing at 100%, in my opinion. I think he's about 85%.
Yeah.
There's silly little mistakes that he's making, which he didn't really necessarily make, especially towards the end of last season. When he comes good, we're going to be firing on all cylinders.
Definitely. And also, another mention, Nathan Lowe, who's on loan at Walsall, is having a really good season for them. He scored 2 the other day as well.
Well, this is the whole point in sending players out especially younger players out on loan. We've got a plethora of younger players.
Yeah.
Are we going to see them again? We've not seen Sidibe really, apart from in the away game to Borough. I think he came on as a sub.
Yeah.
We've not really seen Phillips.
No. He had that concussion
But
injury.
he did have the concussion. Are we going to see these young players coming through? Different manager now, different coach. Are they part of his plans? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Right, Stoke fans. I think that's it from Sam and I.
Yeah, we'll be back next week before the Norwich game.
Yeah, we're going to do another show. I know it's international break. There's no Stoke football going on, but we'll come back in and maybe have a bit of a recap where we are.
Yeah.
We're going to be 8-9 games into the season now.
Done 9, haven't we? So match day 10
yeah.
against Norwich.
There you go. So we'll do a bit of a recap and we'll see where we're at, see where we're heading, and hopefully no injuries in the international break. But that's it from me.
And that's it from me.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and we will see you next week after the first round of the international matches. No injuries, please.